All right, welcome everybody to this yet another episode of Dream Career Talk Show. Here on the show, we are going to have industry experts from various domains who will be sharing their knowledge, their experiences, their challenges, their failures, and their success so that it can help others. This show is going to help corporate professionals expand their context, get clarity, direction, hope, inspiration, and of course, the right steps to build their dream careers. Today's topic is very important for most of the corporate professionals, and especially during these times when people are working from home. Many people have this challenge of productivity, being busy versus being productive. So, today's topic is productivity hacks to get 3 hours richer by time. And I'm sure everybody would love to be richer by time. What if you are able to get richer by time? Will it help you to manage your time effectively? Right? Is it going to help you in becoming more productive and generating more results? Yes, of course. And for that, our guest speaker, Sanghamitra, is a resourceful lifestyle mentor. She is going to share the secrets which can help you to become richer by time. Sanghamitra helps corporate professionals with productivity hacks to become resourceful and get success in their careers and life. Sanghamitra is a first generation entrepreneur who runs a training and consulting service company by the name Possible for supporting MSMEs in developing their HR processes and migrating to HR technology space. She also consults PSUs in finding training need identification of employees and developing a training calendar. As a human capability builder in passion, she is also working towards her mission of transforming 1 million aspiring leaders into impactful leaders by helping them understand resourcefulness and mentoring individuals on how to be resourceful. Sanghamitra, I'm very excited to have you on this show today. Welcome to Dream Career Talk Show.
Thank you, Fatah, and a wonderful, amazing, beautiful introduction. And your show is really famous, so I'm really glad to be a part of your show today.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. And I'm sure like a lot of people after this particular episode, they are going to be richer by 3 hours because we have discussed and I know like how you have already been helping a lot of people on the productivity hacks, on becoming resourceful and becoming great leaders in their own fields. Right. So let's get started. Before we talk about the productivity hacks, I would want to know more about you, right? How did you get started in your career? Were you always a resourceful lifestyle mentor, or was that a different journey when you got started? And how did that move into this particular field?
Yeah, sounds interesting, Fatah. And wait to give me an opportunity to share about me. My story, Fatah, starts with I started my career with my passion. And I take you back maybe around 2002, almost like 20 years back, when I graduated as an engineering professional in electronics and telecommunication in 2002. And that was the year when IT was in boom. Right. All of my friends, they went to IT and started a career with around 15 to 20,000 per month. And that was the stipend, that was the salary, and it was a real good salary that time. But somewhere I was always connected to teach people. Hence, my whole story of the career started as a faculty in an engineering college in 2002. And this is also connecting back to my childhood. Since my childhood till even engineering, I take a lot of pride to make people understand syllabus and help them understand the syllabus. And that was a bigger satisfaction to me. But way back then, I was actually not understanding why do I get this satisfaction and what was the trigger of this satisfaction. So because I liked it, so I helped people. But when I joined as a faculty, I understood that my inner strength and my inner satisfaction lies when I'm able to enrich and empower the other person to be successful. Wow. And I carried my facultyship for around 4 years. But at one point in time, we always feel that money is important. Right. So that imbalance started to come in front of me, for which I had to take a step of, there is somebody who triggered me, and my entire route changed from being a faculty to coming to corporate. through a CAT examination, and I did my MBA from Ford School of Management, Delhi. And then I served in the corporate world for almost like 10 years in the field of HR, project management, and finance.
Mm.
So in this whole career, I worked with two very different type of companies. One is the ICSA group, which taught me aggressiveness. And the second is the Tata group, which taught me loyalty, process, and trust. So today, whatever I have been built is a combination of the values of ICSA and the values of Tata, which is a blend of aggressiveness with integrity and trust.
Wow.
But 2017, since I am always I like to achieve speed in my life. So 2017, I thought, bahut ho gaya. I mean, it's too much. I have done the corporate. Now I think I am working under potential, and I should start something of my own. And that entrepreneurship kida, it bugged me in the year May 2017. So I started looking into the whole system and all that. May 18, I started my own company. Yes, I am a first generation entrepreneur. Nobody in the family was in support of starting the entrepreneurship. But I had one person who was supporting me like hell. And that one person was the person in front of my mirror. So I was the only one who was so strong, and I started my journey helping the MSMEs to develop the HR processes and also developing the human capability of the government and the PSUs. So this is how I started my whole journey, Fatah, and today I'm here on your show, Dream Career Talk Show by Fatah Khan. Thank you so much, Fatah.
Thank you. And it's really interesting to know how you started, because not everybody gets started with their career journey with passion, right? The more number of people I've been talking to, like, not everybody shows that courage or gets that opportunity to get started with your passion. And you are one person who got started with your passion, then after 4 years making that shift, right, and getting into some of those companies, and from there again starting your entrepreneurship journey, being there. And so from the beginning, when you started your entrepreneurship journey, were you more of like resourceful mentor lifestyle and all of this, like productivity, or was it different? How did it start, like entrepreneurship? What was it initially and what is it now? Is there any difference, any change?
There is a lot of Fatah. So there is a lot of difference how I started and how I am today.
Hmm.
When I started my entrepreneurship journey, it started because of a revenge. And
Okay.
this revenge was when I was in my final year of my MBA. So there was this HR consulting company, a very famous HR consulting company, who had come for the campus selection, and they had taken a lot of people had applied, and to the final stage where only two people. I was one of them, and there was somebody else as well. The last question which they asked me was, Sangamita, we really like your profile and all that, but tell me, how comfortable are you to serve in Mumbai? And I was not ready for Bombay because I got married in 2006 and then I did my MBA. So we had a distant married relationship soon, I mean, within 10 days of our marriage. So
Mm.
my only foresight that time was to get back to find a campus placement which gives me Calcutta as a positioning. So it
Mhm.
was only because of that, because I said this concept, but after that I also told them I'm comfortable, but this is what is the story, which I had already introduced little before this particular question. And finally, they went back without selecting me.
Mm.
So none of, I mean, both of us, we were not selected in the campus. So that always gave me a feeling that I will develop an HR consulting company, and I will take the company to this level that the biggies of the HR consulting world will acquire us. And the whole
Interesting.
journey started with this revenge. I continued with this, but that time I was not knowing what is resourcefulness. I was doing my work, but the whole structure of resourcefulness came in only a couple of months back when I was attached to my mentor, Mr. Dev Gadvi, and I did a whole business around the passion process in the tribe of passionpreneur. And then I realized that, oh my God, I can really help so many people have a better lifestyle, have a resourceful
Mm.
lifestyle, because people want to do a lot. but they struggle to take the right action at the right time for whatever reason it could be. But when you are resourceful, you actually find out an innovative way, a creative way to come out with a solution of any difficult situation which comes to your life. I practiced it, I lived it, and I thoroughly implemented it, which really gave me the confidence, Fatah, that this is something which I should take to the world. And I should start helping the working professionals have an impactful leadership lifestyle. And hence, I'm on a mission right now that I would be reaching to at least 1 million aspiring working professionals and transform them to an impactful leader who is living a resourceful life full of productivity and fulfillment, both at the personal and the professional space. And that's why this is Sangamita Sabath here, the resourcefulness lifestyle mentor, in front of you, Fatah Khan.
Wow, amazing, amazing. Starting from the way you took it as a challenge, from the time you were rejected with that campus interview, and the way you have started, and the way you have stood for yourself always, and the fire in you and the energy is what makes me like always feel that, yeah, wow. And this person is and the way you are already helping a lot of people, and I am sure like you have already like a lot of leaders, you have been helping on the resourcefulness, you have been conducting your webinar session and all of that, and you have been sharing about how those people are getting results and seeing the difference in their own lives, right? Which is really amazing. And the way you are shaping up your programs, um, and you are being seen on social media channels, a lot of people follow you, so it's really amazing to see your growth and the way you are making progress there. So good to see that. And now you have been talking about how you make people resourceful and all of that, and you have also been mentioning about the recent productivity hacks where you help people about saving or getting richer by 3 hours, I would say, not saving, getting richer by
Yes,
3 hours. And
right.
how do you do that? How do you do that?
Yeah, Fatah. So, my formula of making people richer is something called a DCBA model.
Hmm.
And let me just explain you why I created the DCBA model before even I explain about the DCBA model. So when I have actually met more than 50 to 70,000 people in my last 4 years journey of entrepreneurship, and probably I would have trained more than 5,000 people in my whole in this journey of mine. One profound thing which I found as a pattern in most of the people is, I mean, I found this pattern, and this pattern was people are really working under potential. They are
Mm.
doing some activity which they can actually and easily do in less time, but they are doing in the way they know, because they're not exposed to what is the hack, what is the productivity hack, what is the time management hack. Probably they have never been exposed to it, and that always gave me this feeling that why are people struggling for time? It's only because they're not knowing how to utilize time. So I came out with this feeling, and then I developed this model called DCBA model. And my model is absolutely meant to make all my people richer by at least 3 hours in a day. And that's my guarantee if they follow this and if they take the action. So the DCBA model goes like this, Fatah, is D for decluttering, because I firmly believe that decluttering is a very, very essential part of our life. C for clarity, which is once you are decluttered, you actually need clarity in what exactly you want in your life, which is a very big missing piece in most of the people's life. But
Mm.
once the clarity has been achieved, I take them to the next level, which is B for branding. And it's really essential for the working professionals to start branding themselves, because the world is too fast, it's too speeding up. And if we cannot show our brand, the other person on the other side of the table really doesn't have time to even find you out. We have to make ourselves visible for sure. So post B, I think if they do decluttering, have a clarity, and they develop their brand, this entire model will take them to an abundance lifestyle. And I call this entire system a resourceful ecosystem, Fatah.
Wow, this is amazing. This is so interesting to know about these things, and the way you have like put it in a framework and the model that you are talking about here, starting from decluttering to clarity, which I always believe clarity is one of the most important things that is required, because a lot of professionals, since I am also like working with mid career professionals, I see a lot of people are going through mid career crisis more because they don't have the clarity. They just go with the flow, and then they later realize, okay, fine, where do I go next? And once they don't know that, they're just following the flow, and then they fall flat, right?
Correct.
And that's when they start failing, right? So yeah, clarity. And then you also talk about branding, which is very important. Not all corporate professionals, I know how I have suffered during my corporate journey for many years, because I was not able to market myself, brand myself, right? So that's very important for each corporate professional, especially the leaders or the aspiring leaders. It's so important. So that's really important, I believe. And the fourth part, you talk about abundance. I think everybody needs to have that abundance in terms of health, wealth, lifestyle, everything. So let's get started with decluttering. Like, how is this concept, decluttering? What do you talk about decluttering when people have to declutter now?
Yeah, this is a question which is very close to my heart, Fatah. So in the DCBA model, the D stands for decluttering, and the decluttering has got three aspects to it. The first aspect is of physical decluttering. The second is digital decluttering, and the third is emotional decluttering. So to remember it easily, I call it as PDE, decluttering, PDE. So physical,
Okay.
digital, and emotional. And you know where it does it come from? It actually comes from my own suffering when I was into my corporate life, and we are a dual career couple. Especially when you are a dual career couple and you have one kid and then you go on to two kids, your life at home is like a hell in case you are not organized. So
Hmm.
that was
I just want to pause you here. When you say dual couple,
dual
what is this?
career couple.
Dual career couple. What is it?
Yeah, dual career couple, for the benefit of everybody, is both the husband and the wife working. So partners working together, we call it in our language as dual career couple.
Okay, interesting, interesting.
Yeah.
Because I did not want to get confused with, okay, two careers where Sangamitra is following. Okay, so this
No,
is
no, no.
more when
Yeah.
husband and wife both the partners are like in the career,
Yes.
like the way
Yes.
their lifestyle and all of that. Interesting,
Yes.
interesting. Please go ahead.
Yes. So that's dual career couple, and aspiration is always very high in dual career couple. Both of them, they want to excel in their career, because of
Right.
which time goes more towards the work and home gets neglected. And when the
Right.
home gets neglected, the first neglect happens at the level of physical stuff which is there at home. Clothes lying
Mm.
here and there, shoes lying here and there, utensils are not being properly kept, crockery is not sorted out. And when you enter into the house after your office hours and you see the house is decluttered, whole house is cluttered, so your temperature goes up and you
Mm.
are all armed to fight. So that is something which I felt during my journey. And when I started feeling this heat, I started talking to my friends, my acquaintances, my neighbors, and all that, who were having a dual career couple. And I saw that I'm not the only one facing
Mm.
this. It's the story everywhere. It's the story in every dual career couple's house, barring a few who might be very well organized. So I
Mm.
started researching a little bit about why am I feeling so sad when I enter into my home, but I'm so happy when I'm there in the office. And I
Mm.
came across this concept that your space management is one of the biggest driver of your productivity. Productivity at work and also productivity at home. And when I link productivity at work, it is more of performance, fulfillment, reward, recognition. And the productivity at home directly relates to love, joy, aspiration. So this is something which I could understand, and then I started researching more and more about it.
Mhm.
So when decluttering happens, the first thing I learned, and I also advise to people, is that we should start decluttering the physical stuff at home. And now the next step is, we have so many things at home, so what do we declutter? How do we declutter? When I came across this particular point, I started researching and I found a very nice formula which is internationally famous. And this is called Mary Combs Decluttering Formula. And she's also written a nice book by the name Magic of Tidying Up.
Hmm.
So yeah, so it's a very famous book, Magic of Tidying Up, and I learned my formula from that book, from that concept, where I would just give a little bit of concept, and even people can go and research it online. So it's very nicely written that whenever we start decluttering, we have to first find out the categories of decluttering, and there are 5 primary categories of decluttering. Physical decluttering. I'm talking about the physical decluttering. The number 1 is the clothes. What
Okay.
we don't want, what we don't require, ideally has to be discarded quickly. The second category of the physical stuff are books. So we have a lot of stack, and even you can see I have a lot of stack of books here. And it really calls that you look into whatever books you are outgrown with, and finally maybe you can donate those books or you gift it to other people and keep the books which is aligned to your mission, aligned to your next goal which you want to achieve. But we
Right.
are little attached to so many things that we keep on stacking things. The third category of the physical decluttering is paper. All the paper, be it whenever we are printing or we get some paper from the outside, we have newspaper, we have creeds, a lot of things which are there in the form of paper. That's also a very big clutter which is created at home. The fourth category is a miscellaneous category, which is primarily like anything and everything, chutku mutku, whatever it comes. And the
Hmm.
fifth one is the sentimental category, where somebody has gifted you something which is very close to your heart, your photographs. All these, they come into the sentimental category of physical stuff. So what I learned from that particular book is that if we really look into decluttering these 5 categories, then we will have a lot of space at our home. And once we have more space, it gives more space to even think through. Not many people really realize it, but I did an experiment to myself just to understand this concept. So I started
Mhm.
working in one of my rooms, which was completely stacked. And I mapped my productivity. What did I do and how did I do? Then at the same place, I also cleaned up everything and I started working on another concept. I felt and I realized that I am more productive when my house, my room has minimum stuff, minimum categories. And I started imbibing that to my life. And today I'm here to teach the same to many people. So this is on the physical decluttering side of it.
Very interesting. Very interesting. I can relate to it the way it was for me. I think I have improved on that side, but definitely some tips I am also taking from here, right? The physical decluttering. Okay, go on, please. Yeah.
Yeah. So, also it's, I mean, the process which ideally people should be following in the physical decluttering side is scrapping everything first, category wise, not room wise. And this is a
Mhm.
bigger mistake which people make. They feel that I will today set up my bedroom. It doesn't work
Right.
like that. It has to be, I will first set up my clothing, not my bedroom.
Hmm.
All the clothes which are there, they will fall into one category and we should clean that up first. So that is one profound principle, a shift of the principle which I did in physical decluttering. And that is why I thought that maybe I should share this concept with people, that do not go for decluttering a room. We should look for decluttering a category. So that's on the physical side of it. And now coming to the digital side of it, digital is an Alice in the Wonderland game. So you store so many things, and once, whenever you require, you actually suffer to find the right thing at the right time. And it has happened with me. I have tested it. It has happened with most of the cases. And how about you, Fatah? Do you agree that this is really something which most of the people, they suffer taking more time to find a file or a folder?
For me, if you ask, it's the same case because I come from IT, 17 years in IT, and most of my friends, if you ask me, my acquaintances are from IT, and I think we have the big challenge there, like finding files, trying to know which how do I organize my mails, all of this. Like digital is a big mess again, if you
Correct,
ask.
correct, correct. And this is why I start my entire concept by telling people that declutter your digital space first. We
Hmm.
have limited space. All of us, we have very limited space. But then if we clutter things which are not required, how do we store things which are required.
Right.
So from here, I explain them about, to be resourceful. I explain them about how to organize their emails, then about the files and the folder, concept of nomenclature to store file and folder properly so that they don't spend much time in order to find out things here and there. It could be notifications. So in the mobile, we have so many notifications which even keeps on disturbing us and decreases our productivity.
Right.
And one very interesting thing I would like to say here is, of late, I started helping people even to organize their mobile applications. We have so many apps on the mobile, and I have seen people who have 10 or 15 pages on the mobile, on the mobile application pages.
Are you talking
So,
about
but
me? Even I have a lot of applications there, so I'm listening very carefully here. Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
the life is easier when the applications are being sorted and
Mhm.
categorized and put
Right.
into particular folder, even on the mobile. Of course,
Yeah.
we have to do the same on the laptop, but people ignore the mobile side of it. But this is really very important. And let me tell you why I tell that I can make people 3 hours richer, or my offering is to make people 3 hours richer. Just assume that maybe you have lot of hundred applications you are keeping, or whatever applications you're keeping on your phone, and you take 30 seconds extra to find a particular file, folder, text, message, or anything, any information. You are taking 30 seconds more
Right.
than your normal time. So in 1 minute, you will be able to do only 2 files. And I'm
Right.
damn sure that all of us, we are visiting the mobile more than 100 times we touch the keyboard of the mobile. If the case
Yeah.
is so, and in 1 minute we are able to sort out only 2 files, and we have a lifestyle of more than 100, easily it comes to 50 minutes extra time, which the mobile is consuming only because it is cluttered. So
Right.
here itself, if we sort the applications, if we sort the documents, if we sort the files, folders, photographs, everything, you are richer by 1 hour with only one asset. And now, if I have to ask people how many digital assets do they manage, I'm sure the average would be 3. And it would be more than 3, but not less than 3. One is your mobile, second is your laptop, and third, you will have either a tab or an iPad or something, or a second mobile or a second laptop.
Right.
So one device is consuming 1 hour extra. The more the assets you have, the more poorer you are becoming, provided you are not looking into decluttering. And that's what is my concept of digital decluttering.
And you talk about digital decluttering. You talk about emails. Like how can somebody manage their emails?
Yeah, see, in emails, we have so many type of emails which are coming.
Hmm.
So one is, if there are a couple of emails which you don't want, people even do not unsubscribe from the email list, but they will keep on deleting every time. So you are
Right.
spending time in just deleting mails. The only one activity they could do is just go to that particular application or that company where you don't want to want to receive the email, unsubscribe it. So you are saving your time in deleting emails. Number one. Number two, there are a lot of promotional emails which you want to keep. You may want to refer them, look up to their content, and try to find out something nice. Are you really putting them into a correct folder where you can save time in even finding those people? Rather, create a folder, and all these emails from a particular person may directly go to your folder created.
Right.
So these are
Right.
small two tricks which can easily help. I have seen people who keep on writing the signature every time instead of even putting an email signature automated.
Yeah.
So these are very small activities which looks to be very silly, but if you really calculate into what exactly you are losing, it is making you poorer day by day because you don't have the productivity. And very important thing is, like, when we download, a lot of emails are coming to us and we download multiple things to be stored. But
Right.
for the out of my experience of 5,000 people I have met and done the exercise with, I think more than 90 to 95% people do not even delete from the download folder.
Hmm.
and they delete the download folder only when there is a red beep on the system that your storage is full and you cannot store the file anymore.
Right.
So this is how the email part, the digital part, can definitely help people, that they can easily look at creating some formulas, creating some system which you can have folder and micro folder creations, which can help you save some time, unsubscribe from the list, clean up your download folder every time. Then the photos and everything, don't store it. I mean, I always ask people not to store the photos on the system. Rather, it should be ideally put into your cloud, so that you can even look at things. And the last one, which there are many, but just to keeping the time constant into the field, let me just also tell one very important thing is people are yet to understand Google Drive, Google Suite. So working everything on the system and on your hard disk is too tough, and it is a limitation for you to work anywhere and at any time. Rather, the shift, the migration to the cloud is a very easy step that you can work more productively, find out any file folder whenever it is required. And I always test people by asking them that, can you share your KYC document with me within 30 seconds? If yes, you are digitally sorted. If no, it's high time to protect and ensure your emergency situation. Because once, God forbid, it doesn't happen, but once you fall into any emergency situation, the first thing which is required is your identity.
Right.
And if you are not sorted with your identity, then the time will be a biggest challenge for you, because you are struggling for breath and struggling for life every second that time.
Right. Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
So
think you
this
have
is,
touched some important element also here. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. So this is how I always emphasize people to be resourceful, to be organized, to definitely declutter and keep things sorted. So this is all about the digital side of it. And now coming to the third one, in the PDE, P for physical, D for digital, and E for emotional. On the emotional front, Fatah, I've seen people, and even me for some time back, we carry a lot of emotional baggages. And it comes from maybe the past experiences, the limiting beliefs, the lack of the context setting, lack of visionary foresight. So because of this, we have some limiting beliefs, and it always pushes us, it always pulls us back from achieving more.
Right.
So here I bring one concept to people, that keep the emotions which are helping you go towards your goal. Be it a positive emotion, be it a negative emotion, but it has to help you achieve your goal. But if any emotion you are carrying today, which is not a part of your goal, which is not helping you go towards your goal, then you cut it immediately and throw it away. And I use a mechanism. It's my proprietary mechanism developed by me. And I tell people that keep two tools at any cost with you every time. And these two tools are, number one is a knife, and number two is a needle and thread. So it's not the real knife, but it is a knife with the two fingers. The index finger and the middle finger together can make a knife for you. Whenever you have a thought which is coming to your mind, and that thought is a negative thought which is degrading your energy, which is pulling you back, just look at the thought, realize the thought, and do a hand movement like this, cut, and throw the thought away, because that's not important to you. That's not letting you achieve your goal. On the other side, in contrary, in case you have a thought which is coming, which is helping you boost your energy, which is helping you drive you towards your goals, I tell them, take a needle and the thread and start stitching it to your life. And why
Interesting.
a needle and the thread is because I realize that, yes, the needle and the thread, they actually are both different entities, but their coexistence makes them successful. And this concept I bring back to the real life experience, that we need to coexist in the market. We need to coexist in this world by being in a community of people who are like-minded, people who have common goals. And if we are wanting to succeed in our life, we have to be a needle and a thread and stitch ourselves with the achievers. And that is why
Wow.
I tell these two tools are very important in life. Have a knife and have a needle and the thread, because coexistence is more powerful than single existence.
Wow, this is so powerful. This is so powerful. And especially though it looks very simple about the emotions that you talk, but yes, consciously observing our emotions and yeah, making that small effort of saying like cut, right? And you're cutting that negative emotion from coming to you, or if it has come to you, to drop that emotion and then stitching that positive emotions, so that whatever positive emotions are boosting you, like keep stitching them in your life, right? And very
Yes,
good example you talk about, again, about stitching needle and all of that, and the coexistence you talk, it's very very powerful. And I completely agree that the community that you are always around should be like a positive community who is helping you in terms of your goals, because I've always heard this, and I'm strong believer of your community or your environment is more powerful than your willpower, right?
true,
You stay
true,
in a
very true.
positive environment, you keep growing. Wonderful.
Yes.
I'm loving this conversation till now. And let's continue with your DCBA model. What comes
Yeah.
next now?
So with the PDE, we finished the D part of it. Now
Hmm.
coming to the C part, which is having clarity in life. How
Right.
I see having the clarity is having the clarity with three words is my formula. And the three words are: first is why.
Hmm.
Why do you want to have what you want to have? Is something which I always keep asking people. And sometimes I become obsessed by even asking people that whenever you are taking any action, ask her why. If you are praising somebody, why are you praising? If you are reprimanding somebody, why are you doing it like that? If you are taking any action, there has to be a why linked to it. And only when we are clear what is the purpose, why we are doing an activity, then it gives a sense of direction towards your success, towards your goal. If we
Right.
are clear about the why part of it, then it directly indicates, Fatah, that it is somewhere linked to the success. But I always ask people that get very clear about what exactly is the meaning of success for you. And once you are clear about success, what is the meaning of success? It could be probably money, it could be relationship, it could be health, it could be rewards and recognition, it could be just traveling around the world is a success, whatever it is. But that definition has to be very clear. So that's a part of the clarity, because until and unless we have this definition clear, it's very difficult for us to even achieve that. But yes,
Right.
one word of caution here is only the definition being clear does not help. Only having the why strong does not help. We have to go to the next level, which is goal setting. Set your goals to achieve your success. So I have learned the SMART goals, and it is a very common way of. We have been hearing about it. We have learned it. But in the goal setting, my formula has always been pick up at least one short-term goal and one long-term goal, and one short-term goal every month for from your family perspective, from your relationship perspective, health perspective, finance perspective, and one more which I have added from my experiences, your abundance perspective. So, all
Okay.
of these, when you put and you design your goals, it could be a 3 months goal, 6 months goal, 1 year goal, 2 years goal. But goal setting itself is a very difficult exercise since it is not very commonly practiced in our society, not very commonly practiced everywhere. And it is
Right.
only common in corporate in the form of KPI and KRAs. But people do not have, very few people, they have a goal for themselves. A life's goal is a missing piece, which is my observation. And hence, it brings me to this resourcefulness that when we are working so hard, when we are living a life, we want joy, happiness everywhere. Why don't we work towards our goal? Why don't we set our goal and work towards the whole process of our goal setting? So, with the clarity, I help them get the why, the messaging, and also the why part, the success part, and the goal setting. This is my C part of it. And
Good.
once,
Interesting. Yeah.
yeah,
Interesting. So, C part, I think when you talk about clarity, I think it's very important for people to have clarity. because that's what will actually get them speed, right? I always tell this, that without clarity you can't get speed. It's more like, from Bangalore to Mumbai or any destination that you want to go, if you have a GPS, think about it. If you know the
Correct.
path, you're just having that accelerator on your car. Keep your foot on the accelerator and just accelerate. Right? So yeah, I think clarity very important. So good, you're touching base on the clarity part, and you are also talking about goals. And I agree with you that people goals, when it comes to goals, not everybody is writing their goals. People don't set their personal goals. They are just connected with whatever the goals comes from the corporate world. Right?
Yeah.
And I think it's very important for us to write the goals. Yeah. So please
Yes.
continue. Yes.
So once they have decluttered the space and they have got clarity of their life, I always help people and I tell them, at least I start creating the awareness and help them to create their own brand. So
Mm.
in the DCBA model, the B stands for branding. So
Okay.
what comes under branding? The first thing in branding for the working professional is no less than a LinkedIn. It has to be there because that's the professional network after all. And 720 million people are existing on LinkedIn as on July 2021, as per the statista.com report.
Right.
So people
Right.
can even go to statista.com and find it out how many people are existing. And to our surprise, I mean, 7.8 million people are only from India, and which is the second highest user in the world post US.
Hmm.
But if we
Interesting.
being Indians and we don't understand the power of LinkedIn, then I think we are just living a life of ignorance, and we have to pay very heavily towards the cost of ignorance. So it is very important for people to at least know that even if you are a working professional, you are very well paid, you are earning a lot, you have a very good rapport in your organization. Even if that is so, it's really important to create your brand because you are just one decision away from your D-Day. You never know when
Right.
that one decision is going to come. So, so people neglect a lot, especially the high performers. They neglect a lot because they are into the belief system of that we are doing so good, so company will take care of. But the practical existence of the corporate world doesn't happen like that. So if we see the whole pattern of branding for the working professionals, it's majorly people who are job seekers who are active on LinkedIn.
Right.
But people who are influencers, people who have knowledge and they want to be influencers have to really catch up the speed. So LinkedIn today we ideally have three levels on LinkedIn. One is people who are struggling and they really want to have a job change. The second is the influencers, which is the highest level. But in between, you also have a category, which is the huge category, which is the highest category. And this is about the satisfied working professionals.
Right.
And they are not sure of they really don't see the hammer which is just hanging on their head. So LinkedIn is one aspect which I tell people that at least we should start branding ourselves on the social media. And when you are branding yourself, your presence really matters. So the way you dress up, the way you sit, the way you talk, the way you write your content, your colors, everything matter in the branding aspect of it. And hence, all the working professionals, one time in their life, need to definitely learn the whole branding process, the personal branding process. So that's on one side of the branding where I help people on the social media side of it. But apart from that, there are two more aspects under branding which I feel very strongly that everybody should be owning it. And that's about how you communicate what you communicate. So when we write stuff, there is a pattern which people can see. And
Mhm.
whenever the readers are reading, there are four type of readers which are very common. And I learned it from my experience that maybe somebody is looking at a verbal clue from you. Somebody might be looking at a visual clue from you. Or it could be just a sound, auditory clue from you. Or it could be just the real life experience, a live experience, which could be a kinesthetic clue from you. Do we really know what are the type of communication and how should we make our communication flow in either it is on LinkedIn or it is during our presentations in the office or during any party, even if we are making an offsite, you are going on a retreat, the way we communicate with people is something which is a must for everybody to understand, and which today is communication skills or maybe public speaking. But yes, the practical understanding, the principles and the strategies of communication is something which I feel everybody should learn. And this is how you give the whole branding of your presence and also your messaging through your communication style. So my B stands for this personal branding, Fatah.
Branding, very powerful, very powerful. I think branding is something that is very undervalued, especially in the corporates, right? And as you said, mostly the people who are like high performers, they take it easy, they neglect it because they feel that, yeah, my job is safe, I'm a high performer, my company will take care. But as you
Yes,
rightly said, it's more about being practical, because we all, like whoever is in the corporate world, everyone, I think they are aware of it, but many people ignore this fact that they are one decision away, right? It can be for any
yes,
reason. It can be company policies changes, it can be recession, it can be something like the pandemic that has struck, it can be the client pulling out the project, or it can be like you have certain challenge with working with your teams, boss, or anything can happen anytime. And branding themselves will help to create visibility within organization and also outside organization. So very
true.
important topic touched here. And LinkedIn also, I strongly believe whatever you talk about LinkedIn, it's very important for corporate professionals to understand about LinkedIn and start leveraging LinkedIn, because it's a very powerful platform. And if it is used in the right ways, then you can create wonders and great opportunities can be created for yourself, right?
Yes, yes. It's a platform for opportunities. It's a platform full of opportunity. You just need to understand how to grab the opportunity.
Right, right, agreed.
Yeah.
So
So
what
with this,
comes
we come to
next?
the last model. Yeah.
Okay.
So we come to the last model now. Once your decluttering is done, your clarity is set, your branding is done, what can you expect? It has to go into abundance.
Hmm.
So here I want to just pay focus to one very important concept. People feel abundance means a lot of money.
Hmm.
Being very rich is abundance. But of course, that is true. But more than that, abundance is a mindset, it's a part of the lifestyle. So I've seen a lot of people, even at different salary bands, and especially when they are less than 50,000 per month or maybe 75,000 per month, they become so much into the low self esteem that they even feel that such experiences are not for us, they are for rich people. So highly valued experiences do not go very good with people who are not exposed to abundance. So I
Hmm.
always felt that even if at any scale of your salary band, it could be, there are various level of abundant experiences people can realize, people can feel it. Just to give a fair example, maybe somebody who's probably in the scale of maybe around less than 50,000 per month, very few occasions they would be even planning for a resort retreat. But I'm damn sure that they would be expending a lot of money in ordering food at home, regular food. And
Right.
if that is so, can there be a situation that you actually plan it out properly, curb a little bit of your expense on the food part of it, but go for a 2 days retreat with your family outside to a resort? It would be equivalent to the food ordering value, whatever it is. Could be 2,000, 3,000 for a couple. But the experience itself is something which is going to bond them together, which is going to give them a resourceful lifestyle. They can talk, they can feel, because I have realized that when I have traveled abroad so many times, and today when I sit back and think of what has been the best memory of my life, it connects to somewhere when one of the incidents of my traveling. And this could be something for many people at different level. It doesn't mean that we have to travel abroad every time, but can we go for to a small resort? Can we go to a cruise, and a cruise which is within India at various levels? Can we have a yacht? Can we have a rafting of the rafting? Can we go for scuba diving, skydiving? These all are very different experiences of life, which anybody and everybody can actually have this fulfillment in life, provided you are aware, provided you have an abundant mindset. So that is something which I feel that everybody need to have once an experience of such abundant lifestyle. Because when you get into one such lifestyle experience, your entire thought process changes. You start feeling that what you are doing unnecessarily is worthless. Rather, you will put some time, plan it out properly, put the same expense, but get a better experience. And when we have better experiences, it has a direct linkage to our thought process. And once our thought processes are clear, it is bright, beautiful, with love and joy, our entire actions are going to change. We will have more massive actions. And once massive actions are there, growth has to be on the wheel of speed. Nobody can stop the growth. And that's
Right.
what is my offering today, Fatah, which is the DCBA model to all working professionals to achieve speed in their life and live an abundant and resourceful lifestyle.
Wow, amazing, amazing. There are comments that has been flowing in time to time, right? People are loving whatever we are discussing here, the information that is coming from you, the DCBA model. I think it's very important for people to understand this and the abundance that you talk about. I think I can completely relate to this. The way it has to be experiences what you talk about. Like life is all about creating memories, right? Great experiences, and that's what also, as you rightly mentioned, changes your thought process, right? Helps you in having a great thought process, and helps in confidence. Because
Yeah.
for me, I think personally, for me also, it has been more of like my confidence has improved by the experiences that I have created for myself, and that is how I think it will help a lot of people as well. Great, awesome. It was really nice understanding the DCBA model and how you have been helping people, and how things have been like shaping for people from every aspect, right? Digital also. I remember recently you talking about how creating email templates can help leaders, right? For maybe
Oh, yes.
birthdays, for
Yes. Yes.
congratulating on things, right?
Yeah, yeah, correct. Yeah, yeah, Fatah. So, yeah, I'll just take maybe 30 seconds to give some insight on that. So, in one of my batches of the resourceful leaders, I also asked them to create templates because we write. So, when we look into the whole pattern of writing, what we do in our work life, it could be either an appreciation or a
Right,
project update,
right.
or it is an escalation, or it
Yes,
could be a birthday wish or some wish, or it could be a funeral. These are very common five or six type of uh, engagement which we normally have with our employer. So why to always create fresh mails every time? I feel it as a lack of, I feel it as a waste of time. So I asked my people that create templates and keep it ready. Just do the editing and use it. So when you can create template, which is one for your project update, second could be for your escalation, or maybe your wishes, birthday wishes, or maybe you want something, you want to order something from your IT department or whatever, your admin department, create the templates by thinking what domain you are working and use the same template time and again. Save so much of time. And now I think I can confidently rise my tagline from 3 hours richer daily to maybe 5 hours richer daily.
awesome, awesome. All these templates, the ready-made informations, like the rules to follow in terms of emails, when you can actually segregate the emails from your boss, from your clients, your stakeholders. I think all of this might look very simple, as in the techniques, but they are very powerful, and I completely agree. They can be the best productivity hacks, and especially for professionals, corporate professionals, because I see a lot of corporate professionals being busy than productive, right? And these information, whatever you have shared here, is going to help a lot of people. And we have like a lot of comments, as I said, and Vijay is telling here that definitely this show is going to increase productivity of me from today itself, right? Particularly in mindset. So I
Thanks,
think,
Vijay. All the best.
yeah. So I think you have been able to like share a lot of information here, and that's been helpful to a lot of people who have been watching live, and there will be people who will be watching it later as well on the recording. So it's been great. And before we come to the end of this session, what is that last piece of advice you want to give to the people here?
There are so many, but one profound, which definitely, Fatah, I want to tell all the viewers, be they are live or they're watching it on recording later, is that for any situation of our life, whether it is easy, difficult, intolerable, whatever be the situation, there is always a way. And we have to be resourceful to and be really creative to find a way out, because for us, even if 99% of the whole system is telling it cannot be done, the resourceful leaders, the resourceful working professionals, they believe and they live the life of 1% trust than the 99% of pulling back. So I
Correct.
always tell people that have the trust on that 1% of your gut, which is saying that I can do it, and you will find a way to do it. And I have experienced it so many times in my life, and I'm seeing the experience in my mentees as well, that if you have a mindset of resourcefulness and you understand the concept of resourcefulness, you will find out a way. Whatever is the way, you will find out a way to come out with those difficult situations. And that's what is my message to all the people who are watching either live or replay.
Wow, this has been like amazing. The entire discussion, the DCBA model, or whatever you have shared here, I'm sure it's helping a lot of people. And all of them who are watching live or who are going to watch it later, let me again remind you, Sangamitra Sabat, uh, who is a resourceful lifestyle mentor, very powerful. I've seen her personally, the journey that she has gone through and the way she has been helping people. It's amazing. So you can connect with her on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is where you are predominantly there, right, Sangamitra?
Yes, yes, very much. Very much.
Okay. So you can connect with her on LinkedIn because she has been able to help a lot of people with the productivity hacks and becoming resourceful and growing as better leaders. All right. So please feel free to connect with her and extract the knowledge and the experiences what she shares without like holding it back. That's the best part. And I've seen you as very powerful and always like an action taker who is ready to take action, implement, and help a lot of people. So, Sangamitra, thank you for being here and thank you
Thank you,
for
Fatah.
adding value in lots of people's lives here through whatever knowledge you have shared.
Thank you. Thank you, Fatah. Thank you so much. Yeah, and it was a
Thank
wonderful journey to be here. You are a beautiful host, and I really loved to be there on your podcast. Much more success, many more success to you.
Thank you, Sangamitra, and thanks everyone for watching us live, and later people who watch us on recording also. Thank you for watching us, and stay tuned. Keep watching because on this Dream Career Talk Show, you are going to not only see mentors or the corporate professionals who have been only working in the IT industry. Because I strongly believe that you need to expand your context. You need to learn from everybody's experiences, and the best way is to learn from others' experiences. And when people who have walked the path, who are able to share their knowledge, so that's going to be like an amazing support and help for you to transform your lives. So be there, start learning, and start engaging, and we are going to come up with more leaders, more shows, more episodes. So thank you for all your love and support. Have a good night. Thank you, Sangamitra. Thanks everyone.
Thank you, Fatah. Bye bye.
Bye bye.